Hello my darlings, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to keep your head straight, not to go crazy into this crazy world. So I'll be giving you 10 tips on how to keep your head straight and live your best life. Okay, so before we get into the actual tips, I just want to a little bit of disclaimer. This is tips that I've learned through my experience and through my learning and researching about it. I do have a psychology degree, but I'm not licensed to practice because I didn't choose to pursue that. This is coming from what I learned with my degree and what I learned in school, and also my personal experience. Is not coming from any place of judgment or condescending, so I apologize if it will come across like that for some of you. Believe me, I really don't want it to come like that. I just want you to give you some tools and some tips on how to just live your best life, which we all want. So let's get into it. I have my notes here. So I think the first one and most important one is you have to be unconditional loving kindness to yourself. And what I mean by that is you just have to love yourself and be kind to yourself. And this is something that I am personally learning myself at the moment. I know it's hard, but I always try to think when that little voice, that little critical voice comes out, I always try to think, what would I do if instead of me it will be my child? If you are a parent, you can relate to this even better. I'm not, but I always think, what would I say to my child and not to me? Because we are so harsh to ourselves and we criticize ourselves so much. But then if it will be our child and we love that child, we love that child unconditionally, and we are kind to that child unconditionally, we wouldn't be that critical, or I hope parents wouldn't be that critical. So every time we have to think of just love yourself unconditionally and be kind to yourself. Stop being so harsh. Stop criticizing yourself. Stop saying you're stupid, you're worthless, you can't do anything. All that, just please stop doing that, because it's not helping. It's just making you get stuck in a certain place, and all the things that you say to yourself, and some of us will repeat the same thing every day. That's just us making ourselves being like that. So if you say to yourself every day, I'm stupid, I can't do this, then even if you're not, at some point you will be, because you say that to yourself, so you make yourself be that. So try to be kind to yourself, try to love yourself, and say nice stuff to yourself. Just say, you're kind, I love you, you can do this, you're worth it. All those good things that you would say to your child. Tip number 2 is stop caring about everybody around you. The sooner you will understand that you are living your life and not everybody else's life, the better you will be. People will have their own opinion about everything. And if you listen and try to do what everybody around you is telling you to do, then you won't live your life. You're not living your life. You're just living every little thing that you took from those people around you, which is not you. People will have their opinion and they will give it. They will give you advice. They will tell you to do things, which is fine. Most times it's coming from a loving place. So you have to bear that in mind. Most times it's coming from a loving place. But the only thing you can do is listen, say thank you, I appreciate your opinion, I will take it into consideration, or not even I will take it into consideration, just say thank you and listen, and then go about your life, think about what you heard, And if you feel that applies to your life and your individual and your soul, then you can go ahead and do it. If you don't, just let it go. You're not going to gain anything by trying to do everything that other people tell you to do, and you're only going to suffocate under all these opinions that come. And also you have to think you are the only one who knows what you need, what you feel, what you're going through. Nobody else around you knows that. Even if there's somebody that has been through the same experience as you, the same suffering, the same everything, it doesn't matter. You are your own individual, and you might feel things totally different than somebody who's gone through the same thing as you have. So it doesn't mean that if they have done something that worked for them, it will work for you. You can try it if you feel that applies to you and if you feel that will help you. But if you're just doing it because mom told you, or your husband told you, or whoever told you, then you're not doing it for you. You're doing it to please them. And at the end of the day, you have to think that people who actually care about you will not care if you've done what they said to you, will care that you're happy. So if you haven't taken that advice, or if you haven't wore that dress that mom told you, at the end of the day, you shouldn't care. It shouldn't matter for mom, because you are happy. Tip number 3 is stop trying or expect it to be perfect. Oh, darlings, life is not perfect, and we always try to make everything that we do, we always try to make it perfect, and I am guilty of that as much as anybody else. I do suffer from this perfectionist, and I love how some people, including myself at a point in my life, used to say this as a point of pride. I'm a perfectionist, so proud of myself. I don't anymore, because I realized that being a perfectionist is just me trying to do things that are never going to be perfect, and that's just me putting myself to a lot of hardship, because I'm always going to set myself for disappointment. I'm always setting myself for disappointment. I'm putting a lot of work into something that is not going to be perfect, because nothing is. And that's fine. Things are beautiful because they're not perfect. People are beautiful because of their flaws. You wouldn't love somebody if they would be perfect, if they would do everything perfect all the time. That would be boring. Believe me. Everything is beautiful because of those little flaws, because of that little imperfection. So let it go. Stop trying to make things perfect, because at the end of the day, you're only setting yourself up for disappointment. Number 4 is stop trying to control everything. This comes after the perfect thing, because they tie in together, and I think if you're a person who suffers a lot with anxiety, which I have and I still do sometimes, this control thing is giving you a bit of a security, is giving you the impression that you're fine because you can control everything. Everything is under control. You have a schedule, you know what will happen when you wake up, you know what will happen after you have your breakfast, you know what, everything is in place. And then the problem with this is that when something is not on your schedule, when something happens that is not in that slot that you put it through, then you get into a huge panic attack, which I used to. Because things happen that I didn't schedule. And it gets you even more anxious than you should be, because something happened that you can't control. And that's life. Things happen that you can't control. You will never be able to control things happening around you. The only thing that we can control is ourselves. So for us to be able to be conscious of this and always think, I'm not controlling this, and I won't even try to control this because it's out of my power. But I can control how I feel about this. See what I did there? That's very important. And that's the tool that I would like you to get from this, is try to always think I can control how I feel about it. And that's really helped me with my panic attacks, with my anxiety. Oh, something happened. I didn't expect for this to happen. So then I think, how do I feel about this? I feel anxious. Why do I feel this? I feel anxious because I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know if I'll be able to do it, and all those questions. So then you answer, what can I do? Or you say, I choose not to feel anxious, or I choose to be enthusiastic about this because it's something new. It's a new opportunity for me. It's a new opportunity for me to prove that I can learn something. It's a new opportunity for me to meet somebody new. It's a new opportunity for me to prove that I can do whatever. So always try to think, I am the one who chooses how I feel, and that's the only thing that I can control. Stress, anxiety, that's the only thing that you can control. The rest of it is just happening. And it's tip number 5, let it go. And this is not about the control freak that we talked about earlier. It's just about sometimes you just need to let it out. So maybe I should have named this let it out. If you need to talk about what you feel, talk about what you feel. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, go for it. If you need to kick something, aggression is a bit okay, but if you need to do it, just go to a karate class or to a boxing class and do it. Sometimes it's okay, not sometimes, it's okay to let yourself feel what you feel. And that's one of the problems that our society, I think, has, is the fact that we are repressing so many of our feelings that we just forget it's fine, we have feelings, and we don't have to repress them, because then you repress them, you repress them, you repress them, and then all of a sudden you're in your car and somebody cuts you off, and then you blow off because there was a lot of things that you repressed in the back of that. Or you just walk down the street and somebody just brushes your shoulder and you just go. You start attacking that person for no reason, if you think about it. So if you feel that you're sad, it's fine. Stop saying, oh no, I shouldn't be sad, or like, I'm a man, I shouldn't be sad, I'm a man, I shouldn't cry. No, it's fine. Everybody gets sad, everybody sometimes cries, everybody's angry sometimes. And I think a lot of parents try to hide their emotion from their children, and I really think that's not the way to go about it, because that's why we repress our feelings, because most of us have been raised by parents who thought, oh, I shouldn't show my child that I'm upset because my child should never see me upset. No, it's fine. It's fine for your child to see you upset. It's not fine for your child to see you upset every day. But if you're upset once in a while, that's fine, because you show that it's all right to feel what you're feeling. So let it go. Talk to somebody, cry it out, but then do something about it. That's the twist. You have to do something about it to get past that emotion. You have to let yourself feel it and then change it. Get past that. See what you can do if you're angry. See what you can do if you're sad. See what you can do to get past. Tip number 6 is give it your all. Do your best. But don't expect to win every time. So if you're doing something, just give it your all. Put everything that you have in that thing, but don't expect to win every time, because sometimes in life you lose. is fine. It's absolutely fine sometimes to lose. It's absolutely fine sometimes if you're putting everything into a project for your boss not to like it, or for your friend not to like it, or for your mom not to like it, or sometimes it's fine for it not to come out as you imagine it in your head. But at the end of the day, you have to be happy with it, be happy with the work that you've done, because you put everything that you could in that moment. Tip number 7, do something for yourself. This is going mostly to the parents of you out there. I know that when you have a child, you want to put everything into that child, but at the end of the day, if you're not going to be okay, you won't be able to put everything everything into that child. You won't be able to give it your own, what we talked about earlier. So you need to take your time. You need to do something for yourself. If that thing is meditating, or doing yoga, or going to the gym, or taking half an hour or an hour to play a video game once in a while, or I don't know, going for a walk, whatever it is that makes you happy, or that makes you feel like that's your thing and you've only done that for you, just do it, because you're going to get so much energy out of that. You're going to feel so much better after you've done that, and then you will be able to take care of the people around you. It's very important to do something for yourself, because you are an individual, and it's very important for you to acknowledge that, especially if you're a parent. Tip number 8 is get rid of the guilt. And this ties in with the one before, because most people, when they do something for themselves, they feel very guilty. They feel like they're being selfish. They feel like they should have done that for their child, or for their spouse, or what have I done to deserve to go for a massage? Maybe my spouse deserves that, or yes, they do, but you do also. And again, if you are not well, then the people around you are not going to be well, because they're going to feel that bad energy from you, that frustration, that tiredness, and all those things that just accumulate when you are not well, because you haven't taken care of you. So get rid of that nasty guilt. It's not helping, and you deserve to take care of yourself. Tip number 9 is get rid of toxic relationships. Everybody knows this. Everybody, I think, has a friend like that, or they know somebody in their life like that. They're people who just like to talk and complain about everything, about the driving from the house to work, about the traffic, about their boss, about their job, about the fact that the sun is up, about the fact that it's raining, about the fact that the coffee is too hot or the coffee is too cold, anything. They just like to complain a lot. Or do you need that really in your life? I don't. I don't have time for that. Sorry. Because people like that just like to complain, but they never do anything to change their grievances. Never. They just like to complain. They just like to give out that negative energy and send it right into other people around them, which most of the times is one of us. That's why I don't have time for that. I have a shield, and I try to ignore and eliminate all those people in my life that are like that, because as long as you're not going to change anything and you're still complaining, then that tells me that you're not willing to change anything. You just want me to listen to you be negative and me to charge myself with that, and then you're not doing anything about it. So why should I have time for you? I'm there for you if you want to do something, but if you just want to give negative energy to me, no sir, thank you. I'm not saying that every relationship in your life has to bring you something, but they shouldn't be toxic. And these are toxic people, because all this negative energy is toxic. It's toxic for your soul, it's toxic for your brain. It's not good to listen to somebody moan all the time, and sometimes it just makes you sad. It drags you. I am talking from experience here, believe me. You can be happy as a clam, wake up in the morning, the sun is up, like yay, so happy, go to work, and then have somebody like this sit next to you. Then you just like, all that lovely energy that you had just goes down, because you are getting all that negative. That's all toxic. Don't let others' expectations become your priority. You might think that other people expect certain things from you. Well, let me tell you something. You're not a mind reader, so stop thinking that. Until they tell you that they want you to do certain things or they expect you to do certain things, you don't have to put that on yourself. You don't have to put that on your to-do list. And even when they tell you that they want you to do certain things and they expect you to do certain things, guess what? It's your decision what you put on your to-do list. Nobody knows your to-do list but you. It's your decision if you want to put that thing on your to-do list, if you can put that thing on your to-do list, and if you're willing to put that thing on your to-do list. It's your decision and nobody else. Don't think that you have to because mom told you need to do something. I'm sorry, I always give mama as an example. My mom is wonderful. She doesn't do this sort of stuff. But I know that maybe that's the closest person. You might think that she told you to do something, or she actually tells you to do something. It's your decision if you put that as on the top of your to-do list as your priority, or it's your decision if you vocalize and say, I'm sorry, but I can't do that today or now or this week or this month, because I have other things to do that are more important to me and I need to do those first. Yeah? Nobody knows what you need to do, what's on your to-do list, what you can do, what you can offer, but you. So don't let anybody else tell you that you can do it. You choose to. Okay, I think that's all. I do think that you got something from this. Again, I want to say this is things that I've learned from my experience, and I just wanted to share with you guys because it's helped me grow. And don't get me wrong, I'm not doing everything perfect on this, because that's one of the rules, and it's fine. But the important thing is to always try and always give it your best. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please don't forget to give it this thing up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Love yourself and love life with everything that it has to offer. Bye.